when you look at it, it's a big number. But we don't have to look at it from face value, because as I've alluded to, CHEMBE has got a lot of competing needs. For example, I'll cite an example on Head 19, disaster management. Mainly CHEMBE experienced disasters which are not attended to on time because of the constraints of the resources. Yeah, for example, currently we have a challenge to cross the Rwela River, to cross the Chiswishi River, where they need some banana boats. But because of this, there is a drop, there is a cut in the DMMU. It will be so difficult for DMMU to navigate and make sure that they provide these services to the people of CHEMBE. And on that score, yes, it looks good, but we can't judge things from face value, looking when we analyze in detail. Yeah, because prevention and mitigation in disasters is very key.
Last week I saw you making presentation, reading a report to the expanded planning and budgeting committee. Should be Friday or Thursday. And how has been your experience interacting with these various stakeholders, and what are some of the recommendations that you made to the expanded planning and budgeting committee?
Well, the experience was very good, and as I am a member of two committees, that is the National Security and Foreign Affairs, and also a Committee on Cabinet Affairs. Yeah, in terms of the recommendation, were well delivered, and it also gave us an insight of what key things stakeholders and end users wanted. One of it, for example, when we talk of the Committee on National Security and Foreign Affairs, many times that in terms of infrastructure to do with the defense forces has been very problematic. Starting from the Minister of Defense, our men and in uniform, the infrastructure which they have. I'll cite an example, for example, the prefabs houses that have been constructed, for example, at L85, certain police houses, those are prefabs, and they are not standing a test of time. Some of them have started collapsing. That tells us to say we need to revisit the infrastructure in our defense forces to make sure that brick and mortar takes a priority, okay, instead of you going for prefabs. And secondly, also in terms of mobility, for mobilization, you agree with me that we have seen like army buses fully loaded. When you go to the police vehicles, fully loaded with officers. That trend should change. We need more logistical support to this the defense forces, so that they give us a service which we need. As you are aware that the state has a duty, okay, to look after our men and women in uniform, okay, and just as them have a duty to look after the state. So there is that complementary issue that arises between them.
All right, let's get to the 2026 budget speech that the Minister of Finance made. Remember, I should also remind you that it was delivered under the theme Consolidating Economic and Social Gains Towards a Prosperous, Resilient and Equitable Zambia. So I want you to underline the line there, equitable Zambia. And in his address, the Minister of Finance did say that in 2025 budget address, the Minister indicated that the 210-kilometer Chinsali-Nakonde road was at 98% completion. This road has been completed. That's an update that the Minister was giving. And he went on saying government is now constructing 2 toll plazas along the road and rehabilitating the 15-kilometer stretch from Chinsali-Nakonde Road junction to Chinsali town. The Minister went on saying completed the Mongo Limulunga and Chibuluma roads. The Chibuluma road is the first ever concrete road in Zambia. You coming from a rural constituency, I know I've seen you on the floor of the House requesting the government to do the pedicle road because it's an easy access to your constituents. And we also had an issue not too long ago, the challenges that people face as they are exiting Mufrira, passing through Congo into your constituency. Any benefit for the 2026 national budget that will see that the infrastructure in your constituency are done in terms of the roads?
Well, basically, like the road you have mentioned, to CHEMBE, that is an economical road, despite it is a shared road with our brothers in the Congo. Yes, it was mentioned in the budget, and we just hope that it is expedited as quickly as possible. Most of our people, especially CHEMBE businessmen, women, that is the road they use. Okay. Currently is quite in a deplorable condition, which if only it can be expedited. What I can only urge the government is that let us have credible contractors, because that road was awarded before, again awarded, and it's just prudent that the way other roads are done, which stands a test of time, that's what the people of CHEMBE are looking for.
Okay, let me bring in Honorable Monty. Your constituency, people are crying for gravel roads. I think, if I'm not mistaken, most of the roads, it's a rocky constituency kind of, and most of the roads are not passable. When it comes to rainy season, it's a challenge, and the drainage is something else. But again, the Minister of Finance has allocated a good substantial of money towards graveling these roads in various constituencies. How is your constituency going to utilize the allocation that the Minister announced on the 26th of September?
Thank you so much. Indeed, KANYAMA is rocky and is problematic in terms of, passage when we're in the rain season. Now, with that amount of money that has been allocated, graveling of feeder roads, which is 3 million. For us, what we have done is, if you look at gardeners, is a word that is just coming up. So meaning you can't find any tar there. It's only gravel, and gravel hasn't been done to that standard. But with CDF, the allocation of CDF, though the way it's done is you realize you have that component on community project, then we have 6 wards, we divide that, then you realize that you have about 3.8 million per ward, and that is where all the planning, whatever you need to do, is taken from. So what we have done with that 3 million, we said, if we are going to divide this amount, I think you realize that you won't achieve that which people are yearning to receive. So we allocated that fund to a particular ward, which is Garden Park ward, where if you have been to KANYAMA, there are pylons from east up to the west, near the which joins the rather crosses the 70/70 road. So that is the road that currently, as we are talking now, is the one that is being worked on. Other than that, we have just thought of going the paving way. So all roads in KANYAMA, with this progressive increase on CDF, I think it will be everything we are churning it to paving the roads. So if you look at the budget that is in issue now, all the funds we want to put them into good use so that we can pave the whole KANYAMA. If we go to Chinika, where we've got shorter roads, streets, about 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 of them actually they are paved. Okay. Yeah, we're just waiting for final touches so that we can commission, then people can be using them.
All right, today we are looking at how the 2026 national budget that the Minister of Finance announced on the 26th of September will impact KANYAMA and CHEMBE constituency. And my two members of Parliament that I do have this morning is Mr. Monty Chinkuli, who is KANYAMA Member of Parliament. I also have Mr. Cliff Mpundu coming from CHEMBE parliamentary constituency. Very shortly I'll be reading your text messages. Remember the number that we're using is 097877 2801. That's 097-877-2801. The big question is, how will CHEMBE and KANYAMA be or benefit from the 2026 national budget that the Minister of Finance announced? What impact will this budget render to these two constituencies? Now, in 2026, the government intends to increase the number of beneficiaries for social cash transfer program to 1.5 million households coming from rural constituency, and we do have quite a number of vulnerable people in your constituency in CHEMBE. And again, KANYAMA is not spared. We do have people that have retired, child-headed homes, female-headed homes. But how are you going to make sure that the 1.5 million households that will benefit from this fund that government has set aside benefit your constituency? Let me start with CHEMBE.
Just as you have alluded to, CHEMBE is a rural constituency which houses a lot of vulnerable people, especially people with disabilities and also the aged. What is so critical is to make sure that our technocrats, they are on the ground, and to capture whoever has been left on that. You know, the increase should trickle down to the masses who are the needy. So definitely the technocrats must be on the ground and making sure that they capture everybody who is supposed to benefit to these funds, having received this increment.
So how's been the program in CHEMBE constituency? What are some of the challenges that the people have been reporting to your constituency office? I know you have staff at your constituency office, and these are some of the issues I'm sure they're handling. And is it necessary to increase the number of people that are benefiting, or there are issues that would want to raise that government was supposed to work on before increasing the number of beneficiaries?
Well, basically, the increment is welcome, and it has been long overdue because of the number of the vulnerability of our people there. The only challenge which we have, especially on this social cash transfer, is that our connectivity, as you are aware, there is this transition of people receiving money on the phones. We still face a challenge, especially in places where the network is bad. For example, Kalasakando, Kasomalwela, at the same time areas like Kasekela. Those are places where the network is very bad. Or what I can say is to urge the government to expedite the process of connectivity. Our network system in CHEMBE is quite poor, and which renders people to be vulnerable, especially when accessing the funds, which also even bring conflictual matters to our technocrats. Money could have been disembodied in these funds of the people, but the people cannot access because of the connectivity. That is one key challenge that is quite needed to be worked on, especially in our rural community.
KANYAMA is not spared. How is it going to tap in the 1.5 million households that will benefit from the allocation that the Minister of Finance has put aside, specifically for talking about issues to do with social cash transfer?
Thank you so much, and I want to echo the sentiment that my colleague has just echoed. Indeed, the increase to 1.5 million is a welcome move, because there are a number of people that are vulnerable that needs this service. However, I feel much can be done. Can be done in the sense that the technocrats should actually own this program. because one, I believe where the government is, releasing funds, it wants to generate some funds at some point. I'm looking at economic activities that needs to be undertaken in these various constituencies. Allow me to make mention of one person with a disability in is it should be in Mfulera, where each time he receives those funds, he goes to he's a cobra actually. He buys implements to start sewing people's shoes. So for me that actually is a way to go, because if you just sit there, you give in this fund and immediately you consume it again, you start waiting, and for me I think so this is where it's an appeal to the technocrats that we can do much by sensitizing, educating these beneficiaries, so that to some extent they may even graduate, other than just consumption all the time consumption. Let them just, few others can do some trades here and there, sell cabbages, all those,
But are you implementing that in your constituency, Kanyama? Because we do have Soweto Market nearby there. I don't know, any programs that you've put aside to make sure that the beneficiaries of local cash transfer, talking about social cash transfer, are educated and they enter into some form of business, so at least they can generate some income. I want to align this topic from the committee point of view. We went around the country. We visited Wapula, Northern, Muchinga. We went as far as south. We were trying to investigate on the impact that social cash transfer has. A number of them, what they have done is like just here, near here, Chibombo here, they went into buying of goats. They would buy one or two, then they keep on. At the time we were carrying that survey, we realized that there's a woman who had I think about 12 of them, where she even showed us. From this social cash transfer managed to acquire this. Others have built houses, they have even roofed them with their own sheets. So others, for whatever reason, we just decide not just to sit. But we have actually done that report, where we even submitted to the ministry, say no, there is this challenge. So can we invest much into education of these beneficiaries, so at some point they'll be able to graduate. If they just keep on consumption for consumption, then the burden is. But are we seeing any pilot project for Kanyama constituency? That was my question.
Well,
apart from the feasibility study that you undertook as a committee, but as Monty Chinkuli, Kanyama area member of parliament, I'm sure you would want to empower the locals, more especially the beneficiaries of this local cash transfer. But before you respond to my question, let's get to our SMS. Remember, the number that we're using is 0978 772801. We have some text messages that we need to read now. The first one comes from John in Kanyama. Good morning, Honorable Chinkuli. Do we see the 2026 budget help improve the drainage system in Kanyama? Thank you so much for text message, John. And let's see another text message. This one comes from Stanley, all the way from Kanyama as well. Honorable Chinkuli, you're a great man, and the people of Chiboli are very happy with your leadership. However, look into the issue of junkies. Wow, getting kudos from Chibolia. We are all scared to get to Chibolia because of the infamous Chibolia that we know. Maybe a quick...
They are my children.
They are your children.
They are my children.
Quick reaction.
Okay.
There is another... Okay, that's the same one that we read earlier on.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for that inquiry. Right now, as we are speaking, we're trying to ensure that in case God blesses us with rains,
And there is a projection that will have good rains based on what the Minister of Green Economy and Environment said. We're going to have fair rain for this coming season, the 2025 to 2026.
So right now, drainages are being constructed. National Service is doing the main drain. Then there's another company that has been contracted by the Ministry of Local Government, is actually gone into constructing the Diana drainage, which starts from, there's a school called Diana, goes right inside into Kabuma Market there, heart of Kanyama, right into road 55. So that one, we just keep our fingers crossed. That project is being undertaken, and on top of that, we trying to maximize on the cash for work, so that those small drains where water can be channeled to those people who.
So what's the time frame before I get to Honorable Mpundu? Completion of these drainage, because we're almost in November, and any time from now we may start experiencing some rains.
Yeah, if I talk about time frame, I think it will be something that maybe I meant to be factual. The issue is we're looking at the availability of funds, the way they are released, because you may wish to take note that the moment funds that have been advanced are done, our contractors, they abandon. They stop.
The junkie, the Chiwadia Road is dangerous. People's phones are being snatched.
Yes.
A car broken into.
I think even my boss who just sent that text, I think you agree with me that we are progressively addressing that issue. If you walk into Chiwadia right now, I think they are there. We have not wiped them completely, but they are there. They are not so much visible. They are there. So I normally go there and talk to these boys. We chat. But the challenge that is there is more must be done, because one, you look at these children are from diverse customs, the tribe, township and the like. You realize that a number of them that play in Chiboya there don't hail from there. They come from Matero, they come from Chawama, they come from, so they just found that place to be more conducive for the activities. But on this one, I want to thank the police for having being vigilant into keeping them, directing them and the like. But we are coming up with a program where now that we have come up with a community hall in the Chinika area. We want to be getting them, we sit them in that hall, then from there, chat, see a way forward. What is it? We mentor them. What is it that they can do to avoid, just moving up and down?
How are you going to realize that, looking at the resource envelope is not enough?
I want to make mention here that monies will never be enough. But with the little amounts that may come your way, I think it's better you started.
All right, let's move to CHEMBE. What are some of the issues? We've learned that in Kanyama, I'm sure these are the things that we've heard, Honorable Mpundu, the issue to do with junkies, others call them fluffies all over, snatching phones. What are some of the issues that are of concern the people of CHEMBE?
Well, basically, to do with the people of CHEMBE, the main concern, especially to do with developmental issues, is to do with water.
Okay. No, what I meant was social issues that the people face. Theft, is it something that is huge in CHEMBE? Petty thieves, stealing goats, chickens. Is it something of concern in your constituency?
Definitely, it is of concern, especially to do with ZESCO cables. But as you know, CHEMBE is a developing district, and we have seen a lot of influx of people from especially the Copper Belt who are coming to work in that place, especially Mansa Sugar. And what is happening is that some of them, they come very far. And what happens there is that some, especially when they are relieved of their duty, especially at Mansa Sugar, some, the means of getting back to where they came from has been problematic. And what happens is that they resort to stealing.
So how are you
So
addressing that challenge?
Addressing that challenge is that we have been engaging, especially through the police, and of course vis-a-vis the employers, the Mansa Sugar, to say, let them, when people are relieved of their duties, they need to be paid. Because what makes those people to behave like that is because they don't have the means, for example, for transport to get back where they are coming from.
Okay.
What do? They would rather steal, sell, and then that they leave the place. So those are the devices that we have been having.
I know both of you, members of parliament, from the enhanced CDF, you've been on the ground making sure that health facilities are built in various wards of your constituency. And the minister, in his address on the 26th of September, did mention that he intends to employ 2,500 health workers. How are you going to tap in these 2,500 workers that will benefit your constituency? Let me start with you, Chembe. Being a rural constituency, I'm sure you've done some annexes in all corners of your constituency.
Yeah, to start with, I'll start with the employment. Employment, especially of our youths in Chembe, has been a thorn in our flesh. And we appreciate the way there were pronouncements to say the recruitment will be done at district level. But unfortunately, again, there is a bit of a diverting, because we have got a lot of youths who need employment in Chembe, and that is a big issue to our youths. Mind you, Chembe is not an industrial hub. It relies on government to employ. That is the major employer. So what we are looking for is the government to do a stiff, deliberate policy to make sure that employment of these 2,500 health workers is done at district level. At times the district submits, it goes, these channels taken to province.
How many health personnel would you want to Chembe, to be sent, to deploy it in Chembe parliamentary constituency, and which speciality would you rather have in your constituency?
In terms of health sector, I would say there are lots, and those should be youths from Chembe. We have got, for example, the speciality that we will need registered nursing, we need midwives, we need clinical officers, we need EHTs, that is environmental health technologists. We also need laboratory technicians, and then we also need doctors, especially that Chembe we have embarked on constructing of health facilities, which we are making sure at least our women should stop walking long distance. If the
Minister of Finance came and asked you a question, how many health personnel would you want? Just be fair. For Chembe parliamentary constituency in the health facilities that you've constructed, if they said how many would you pick?
In my own view, I would rather get 100.
Now, looking at the people of Chembe and the need for Chembe
constituency, I will need 150.
Let's get to the SMS facility, and there's one text message specifically for a constituency. Let's read the text message that people have been sending, and this one reads, Honorable Mpundu, we recently witnessed the completion of construction of Muombe Health Post under the 2024 CDF allocation. Do we see more developmental projects to be undertaken with the 2026 CDF proposed increment to CDF? First, respond to that, then I'll read some other text messages that we have.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, thank you for that text message. My boss, that side, who have written that text message. Development is a process, and definitely you expect more of the development projects that will come, especially where we are lacking most is the water projects and also the road networks. As I have alluded to at first, CHEMBE is a district. There are a lot of...
Are we seeing more?
We are
such?
Of such. You see more of such.
In 2026?
In 2026. Especially that the same like Muombe, it is the same like the one which is at Milima when you check. There is also another one like the one at Muombe in Luansa. There is another in Kalusha. There is another in Kop. These projects, they are of the same, and at the same time, what we want is to reduce our women walking 100 kilometers to access primary health care.
Okay, before I bring in some more text messages, before we get carried away, I did ask a question to CHEMBE Member of Parliament. Let's shift now to KANYAMA. Very beautiful piece of infrastructure that you have in the name of Level 1 Hospital, KANYAMA Level 1 Hospital. And the Minister in his budget speech said 2,500 health workers will be deployed in 2026. How many would you want to be deployed to KANYAMA? Looking at the masterpiece infrastructure that you have in the name of KANYAMA Level 1 and other health posts that you've constructed using CDF in your constituency. Quickly respond before we read some text messages.
Thank you so much. To state that I want such a number, I think he probably would be unfair to others.
CHEMBE saying 150, and you,
well,
how many would you want?
To talk about a particular number, I think I want to look at where this number is coming from. You may wish to take note that the government is trying to equally distribute these resources. If you look at CDF, it's 40 million. Now, from the 2,500 that are being employed, if they are divided into the 10 provinces, it's 200 per province.
They divided by the constituencies, dotted 156.
So find if it was a figure, say 1.2 people, you get the point.
So CHEMBE is being selfish here.
So now, the only thing that I'll probably request the government is if it can be done equitably. Look at KANYAMA, it's largest in terms of population. So for sure would want what people in CHEMBE are benefiting, in Kaputa are benefiting, let also KANYAMA people benefit.
But the people that will give you that mandate, another 5-year mandate, they won't look at that. They just want numbers and being serviced.
That I totally agree with you.
So
that's the unfair part.
So you would accept with CHEMBE's claiming to have, desiring to have 150 members.
If it's given, if it's given that here is a 2,500. I think I would get all of them.
Which speciality would you love to get in looking at KANYAMA's dynamics in terms of health issues?
Mid-500, we need them. Looking at the number of babies that are born in KANYAMA, where in a month we're talking about 1,000. So we need, then we need all these various sectors where med departments, where maybe those eye specialists,
let's
need them.
Let's get to the SMS facility. Remember the number that we're using is 0978-77-2801. Remember, we're looking at how would the 2026 national budget impact KANYAMA and CHEMBE parliamentary constituency. We do have Richard Gondwe from Luansa on the Copper Belt. We are following you, and the budget is good. However, in KANYAMA we have a challenge with drainages. During rainy season, we hope that next year you are going to increase the number of people who are benefiting from social cash transfer. Wishing all the best. Thank you so much. That's confusing there, Luansa and KANYAMA. Very interesting. Maybe it could be a resident in KANYAMA, but they're in Luansa at this particular time. But you are a great man, and the people of Chivolia are very happy with your leadership. However, look into the issue of junkies. I think Stanley KANYAMA read this one earlier. Mr. Chinkuli, MP, we have not received money for cash for work since May, please look into the issue, sir. Thank you so much. Mark that one, the issue to do with cash for work that people are working for but haven't been paid. Delayment in receiving this cash, these funds. There was another text message that came from Luansha, talking about junkies as well. And
talking about drainages.
Drainages, yes. Cash for work payments, delaying. What are you doing as a member of parliament to make sure that, I know you can just do you can just go a certain limit in terms of pushing for these funds.
Thank you so much. In case of those, for the sake of those that have not been, they haven't received the...
And since May, this is a long period of time.
There are challenges that arise in the process of, disbursing these funds. A number of them, I think, looking at time, I may not, exhaust them. You realize that you go to this group, they will tell you, Honorable, we have not received our right for this long. But in the meantime, government releases those funds. Now when you go to our technocrats at the council there to inquire as to why the situation is like this, then they will show you, there was a mistake on this, there was no NRC there, there's no, others you find they'll give a phone bearing different numbers, but NRC is different. So there are some of the challenges. However, where there's problem and where there are people, things should be addressed. Okay. That one, I think you can pass through my office, or I can give you my line. You call me, then I can meet that group. Then from there, together, we come up with that list. Then I can go and I'll get one or two of you who go to Lusaka City Council so that we see, verify as to why you are not paid to date. Okay. So that one is something that we can do. Pass through, I can either consult...
I think the best way is for them to come to constituency office. So
yes, pass through the constituency office or get hold of the councillor, then from there together we'll be able to address the challenges.
Mr. Mpundu, how's Cash for Work doing in CHEMBE constituency? Are you happy with the works that these people are doing? Even the payments are coming? There are no delays?
Well, basically, I would say, remember how Cash for Work started, that it was in relation with the drought that we had, and a feasibility study was done, and to say those which were highly affected with that drought. Unfortunately or fortunately, as we were we were not in that class of those who were supposed to. Yes, we had some rains, and the perimeters that they used to come up with who benefits to that. So on that score, we are not benefiting on the Cash for Work.
Okay,
but going forward, we will look. Definitely, we also have got certain disasters. We will expect also to start benefiting in future, but the perimeters which were used to come up with
you are not among the 80 constituencies that were affected by I remember
you want to manufacture a disaster.
I remember our honor the Republican Vice President addressing members of Parliament here at National Assembly, those who were critically affected by the 2024-2025 rainy season. Let's read some few text messages that we've received. Remember, it's 0978772801. That's the number that we are using if you wish to be part and parcel of today's presentation of the 2026 budget analysis. Good morning, panel. In local ward, we look forward to more development in the area in the next 1 year. Chomba in CHEMBE there. All right, so looking forward. Honorable Chinkuli, Kanyama gets hit with cholera normally during the rainy season. What are your plans in ensuring that we the people of Kanyama are safe this season? That's Mary kwa Kanyama, the emphasis there. CHEMBE, there was a text.
Yes, thank you for that text message. Yes, of course, there are some development projects that are going on in Lukola Ward. I'll cite one example, like It is the first ward where we have started putting up the teachers' houses, semi-detached, at Malenge School. It is the ward that has benefited for a 1x3 classroom block, and it is a ward that has also benefited, which is an ongoing project too, with a water scheme. But I understand going forward we need more, especially to do with water and sanitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable Chinkuli, that text message from KANYAMA there.
Thank you so much, Madam Mary, and those concerns are my concerns. I don't want to see people suffering like they suffered 2 years ago. I am busy engaging the government to ensure that the drainage system is complete, so that all the water that could have been settling should be moved. However, that is another process, but I just want to utilize that which I have in control. We're talking about cash for work, and this is the program that I would want to maximize to ensure that garbage is heaped. Then from there, we under ward ward fund, we have procured some tractors. So those are the ones that we want. The moment garbage is heaped, then we load on the tractor. Then from there it goes. All in all, I just want to ensure that there is cleanness in KANYAMA. KANYAMA is very clean, to the point that even if rains come, I don't want to see a channel through which cholera will slip into.
A lot of people say that you are reactive, not proactive when it comes to cholera. It's quite here because there are no cases. Once you have a case being reported, that's when you get on your garment and start running up and down. Why are we not being proactive than being reactive?
Okay, thank you so much. That can be said. And looking at cholera is not something that we live with. It comes and it goes. It may come, it may not come. If you look at last year, we never had any trace of cholera. The past season we had never had. But right now it has shifted to somewhere in Pulungu. But in KANYAMA it's not there. So now to be called reactive, of course, I would align it to a disaster. You cannot be proactive to a disaster. You have to be reactive to a disaster. So when it comes, then you see how best, because you don't know where it will come from.
But it shouldn't be perennial, Honorable.
No, like I've said, last year we never recorded any case. We never. In KANYAMA, you can check where we never had any case. It's never here when we had that massive, deaths that occurred. Like I've said, we are clean. That is being proactive. We are busy. If you go there right now, those that have been engaged under cash for work, they are busy working, and that is being proactive. We are preparing just in case of which, in Jesus' name, we are saying we don't want any more cholera issues in KANYAMA.
We have about less than 4 minutes before we wind up today's program, but let's move on to the enhanced CDF from 36.1 to 40 million kwacha. The minister announced for 2026. Was that necessary? The increment, looking at the challenges that you members of parliament have been facing in terms of disbursement of these funds, and you still have arrears. If I'm not mistaken, you have about 16 million. That's what you've received this far for 2026. CHEMBE, was the increment to 40 million necessary in terms of CDF, looking at the challenges that you face in accessing these funds, or disbursing these funds by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development?
Well, basically it was necessary, especially like CHEMBE, where we have got a lot of competing needs, just as I've alluded to initially, where we still have got suspects being moved 100 kilometers to go and access justice. We still have got problems in road networks and many other issues like water. So it is just necessary, or what is needed to be done is to make sure that the procurement processes are refined. For example, I'll cite an example of, clearing a contract for them to award. It is supposed to be signed by Attorney General in all the 150 constituencies, and you can see the works that Attorney General has. That process delays, where what is the duty of the legal counsels, the lawyers that are employed at council level, because they are in that ambit with Attorney General. Why not those just there at the council analyze a contract? If there is any clause that is supposed to be put in that contract, they do at that level, and then we are ready to go. Okay. Now, those are the bottlenecks that needs to be worked on.
Okay, before I move to Mr. Chinkuli, KANYAMA Member of Parliament, you keep talking about the challenge of water in CHEMBE constituency, and I tend to wonder, you have CHEMBE River there. What are some of the challenges that you're facing? Why are we failing to provide water and proper sanitation for the people of CHEMBE parliamentary constituency, knowing that in the backyard there is CHEMBE River?
Well, that's a very important question, and that's why I've been talking about water issues. To put up a treatment plant of water, it costs for colossal sums of money, which can even swallow the entire CDF without even doing anything. So basically, that program is a long-term program which is supposed to be handled by the ministry with Luapula Water. And bear in mind that Luapula River is a shared resource with our brothers in the Congo. So there must be some mutual understanding of that resource. So there are those technical issues which are supposed to be handled at central government level.
How is CHEMBE of boreholes? Because you have an allocation boreholes in selected areas in your constituency to cushion the huge challenge of water supply in your constituency.
Yes, the boreholes are being done, and of course we are also upgrading any kiosks so that people can have tapped water. Yeah, we are doing that. The only problem which we have, despite you see the water running around there in the corridors of the communities along Luapula River, the water table for CHEMBE has gone down. You can't do a bore at 50 meters and you expect to find water. Unfortunate. So currently we were just advising the technocrats, including the people at the Ministry of Water, to say currently when they are doing the BOQs, let us change the approach. This issue of doing a BOQ at 50 meters should change to 150. Mind you, we are in climate change, which has affected all the resources.
All right, Honorable Chinkuli, the issue to do with CDF in your constituency, was that necessary to push it to 40 million kwacha?
Thank you so much. If I had the way, I would have said let it go to 50 million. It's very, very necessary, looking at the challenges that people are going through.
The disbursement has been slow, and not too long ago you just received about 4 million, which went to 16 million for the year 2025.
Well, that one, personally, I feel happy if you owe me some money. Other than me, I don't expect any monies from anywhere. So the government has assured us that this next year's what is 40 million, which is okay, because it will help a number of, alleviate a number of situations that we have in KANYAMA, more especially something to do with like the junkies themselves. So if we have got a big basket through which we can tap in, we'll be able to round them up, then from there give them something to do. So if someone owes, it's incumbent up to us to we don't keep quiet in this house. We keep on reminding the minister we haven't disinvested, and eventually they disinvest. And moreover, we've been told, I think the challenge that we have is the way we collaborate these issues. We've been told the government can't afford to keep monies in the accounts, in the council account. Once money is maringering around, they mop it. But upon request, let us invest.
We have about 2 minutes
Yes.
to conclude today's presentation of the 2026 post-budget analysis. We do see people in Kanyama moving with buckets looking for the commodity water. What measures have you put in place for 2026 to make sure that the people of Kanyama have this commodity?
Thank you so much. We have started actually. If you go into Chinika ward, we have come up with water points where people will be accessing this commodity. I think it should be this week or next week. We are commissioning those kiosks. Yes. So we want to spread that across the constituency. So that one, I think it will be a thing of the past, unless people just want to carry those, but otherwise that one will put up, or we'll dot them across the whole Kanyama. Then from there we'll be able to.
Before I let you go, let's read some 2 or 3 text messages that we've received before we conclude today's presentation of the 2026 post-budget analysis. And my 2 guests, I do have Kanyama Member of Parliament, Mr. Monty Chinkuli, and CHEMBE Member of Parliament, and this is Mr. Cliff Mpundu. Let's see some of the text messages that we've received. This one's come from Chola, and Chola writes, good morning, Bachinkuli in Chibolia. We need prayers, more especially main road for Pachi Road. Okay, interesting. Thank you so much, Chola. Good morning. Kindly plan for Kanyama resident for any infectious diseases in the 2025-2026 budget. Thank you so much. And let's see another one that we have. Good morning, Honorable Chinkuli. I'm Mr. Nyeleti in Kanyama. Please visit JLO police station and talk to the police to operate professionally. Another concern there. How is CDF being applied in Kanyama? Thank you so much for that text message. Those are some of the text messages. Quickly, under a minute, quickly respond. Pachi Road and also another police post.
Chibolia, we are paving the Chibolia Road from Kafue Road. It passes into Chibolia by the Chibolia Police. That one, I think, as I'm speaking now, people are able to see hips, So that one, we are paving it. The issue of professional conduct by the police officers. And
there are so many checkpoints along Los Angeles Road, Honorable. After the issuance of by the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, do we still have numbers of officers?
Well, I'll say it's as well that can be done, because at the same time, this what we see as an inconvenience to motorists. It saves us from other unforeseen incidences. Because just from there, I find maybe someone has stolen something in the
so you have the idea to have officers along the road.
Well, I think
as Monty.
Yes, but though
then the professional misconduct.
Misconduct,
that particular police post that was highlighted.
It's very, very unfortunate. We expect police to behave in a professional manner, execute their duties in a professional manner. We don't want them to operate like junkies. No. And thank you for that. I'll pay a visit to.
You seem to be very popular in Chibolia. Yes. Any secret?
No, I think they're my children.
You're very popular, and it's more like you're liked in Chibolia. Any secret that you'd want to share with us that frequent that area as we go to Mackenzie?
No, it's just talking to them.
Okay.
You love them and they'll love you.
All right.
Just that.
Honorable Pundu, as we wind up today's presentation of the post-budget analysis.
Over the infectious diseases, I think that one will look into it, and I'll engage the Minister of Health to address such issues.
How will the 2026 budget impact CHEMBE as we wind up?
Well, it will definitely help the CHEMBE people, especially the youths, if the recruitment, for example, in the health sector is done at district level. And at the same time in CHEMBE, we are looking at it to do with recruitment. It should not only be in health, because we have got other youths who have done agriculture, who have done economics, who are also in need of this employment.
How's the free education doing in CHEMBE? Under 30 seconds.
Well, it's doing well. Of course, as you know, to everything there's a challenge. We need to do more, especially to do with the classroom block infrastructure.
I know Honorable Monty is a busy man. He's been on the phone for like, I don't know, responding to some text messages that are coming
we are together.
From the people of Kanyama. But how
we are together.
You can conclude?
Yes, at the same time, we still have got the water issue. So with the CDF, our focus with the 2026 will only be mainly two things. One is the water issue, and at the same time, we need also to do more on our road networks. Yeah, especially that we have procured the earth moving equipment to cushion the burden. Of course, water is a problem, but there are certain mitigation measures that we want to put immediately. For example, there is a water bowser that we have just procured, and at the same time we are also going to procure certain tanks, emergency tanks, where the need arises. They put that tank, water is taken there, people can draw from there.
Zambia turns 61 this coming Friday. I know you've been your constituency. Your message to the people that gave you the 5-year mandate under 30 seconds, and I mean 30 seconds, Honorable. The independence message to the people of CHEMBE.
Yes, the independence for the people of CHEMBE is to reflect on what we have achieved in terms of development process. In other words, what the people of CHEMBE are looking for their independence is one, to have clean water. That is the independence.
The 30 seconds is done. Let me move to Mr. Chinkuli. How will the 2026 budget impact Kanyama parliamentary constituency?
Thank you so much. It will do much in a sense that a number of people will be brought on the beneficiary side of those that benefit from grants, loans and the like. So my just appeal to the people of Kanyama, the good people of great, unique and good people of Kanyama, is please engage me, come to my office. It's ever open. My PA is there, my AA is there. If you've got any challenge, let us be part of the group that is going to utilize this, this CDF fund.
When are
all of us.
When are you found at the office? So
every Saturday I'm in the office.
Okay.
Every Saturday I'm in the office. Like last Saturday from 8 up to 20 hours. You can imagine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Just come Saturday. I'm in the office.
The message to the people of Kanyama regarding the 61 years that Zambia is turning. That's independence. It's
the same message that at earlier given. When talk about independence, you are free, do that which you're supposed to do. Then from there, find benefits into that. So for people of Kanyama, Independence Day, reflect. Let us be part and parcel of the development that CDF has brought in Kanyama. I thank you.
Mr. Mpondo, thank you so much for being with us. I know you'll be traveling to CHEMBE. Wishing you all the best. Mr. Chinkuli as well, wishing you all the best as you interact with the people of Kanyama as you commemorate 61 years of independence. All the best as you continue serving the Kanyama people.
Thank you.
We're done for today on the post-budget analysis, the 2026 post-budget analysis. And my two guests that I had today was Mr. Monty Chinkuli, who is Kanyama member of Parliament. I also had Mr. Cliff Mpondo, who is CHEMBE parliamentary constituency member of Parliament as well. And today we're looking at how will the 2026 impact Kanyama and CHEMBE parliamentary constituency. I'm sure a lot of issues have been raised. I'd like to say thank you so much to you, our viewers and our listeners have been interacting with us via our SMS facility. We'll be back tomorrow at 8:05 with yet another interesting topic. My name is Paul Sentindovi. My sign language interpreter this morning has been Jason Mandan. On behalf of the entire production crew, thank you so much for your time.
Stay entertained anytime, anywhere with DSTV Stream. First, download the DSTV Stream app from your app store. Sign up and create your multi-choice ID with your email, phone number, and password. Link your DSTV account to your customer number. Choose SMS or email verification. Confirm with the OTP sent to you. Download the DSTV Stream app now and never miss a moment.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
Wherever you are, whatever your reason, it's on SuperSport all season long. Reconnect to DSTV Compact and GoTV Super Plus today and get the best football on us.